Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I think this is the first time that you are visiting my YouTube channel, so do subscribe my YouTube channel, and so you will get the all the notifications of the videos that I will make about this chapter force. So today we are going to revise the chapter force through this platform called YouTube. The links will be there in your, you will get the links in your homework app, okay, Astri app, so you don't need to worry about that. So try to understand this topic or this chapter through this platform called YouTube. The best part of this platform is that you can watch this video at your own free time, and you can watch it as much as you want. So there is no time time limitations or something like that you have to watch in a particular time. There's nothing like that. You can watch at your own free time. So we will start with this chapter called force. Now so what is a force? So our chapter is called as what? Chapter is force. Now before understanding force, we have to understand two terms. One is called state of rest, another is called state of motion. Let's begin with the term state of rest. Now what is state of rest? Let's look at look at the things around your house, around your room. Suppose a table or a chair. Is it moving right now? No. The table and the chair is not moving at this point of the time. So those objects or the bodies, those bodies which are not moving, that is, they are stationary, they are in one fixed point, one fixed place, that is, they are called stationary. They are called, these bodies are in the state of rest. So what is the state of rest? Bodies which do not move, or I can say the bodies which are not moving, the bodies which are not moving, that is stationary, these bodies are in the state of rest. So these bodies are in the state of rest. Clear? So the bodies which does not move are in a state of rest. And what are the examples that we can give for the state of rest? A chair or a table in your room. So example is what? The chair or the table in our room which is not moving. Now once as we have understood the state of rest, let's understand the next term, state of motion. State of motion. Now what I can say about the state of motion? If you look around the things which are in the road or in the street, that is just beside your house, there is one road or a street, and if you look at the street, what you can see? A motorcycle is moving, or a bus is moving, or a car is moving. So those objects or those bodies which are moving means what? They are in motion. Those bodies are right now, as of now, are in a state of motion. So the bodies or objects, you can say, which are moving, bodies or objects which are moving means what? That is in motion. Moving means motion. The bodies which are moving, those bodies are in a state of motion. Those bodies are in a state of motion. What are the examples that we can have? The moving cycle, okay, moving car, or say moving motorcycle. So they are in a state of motion. I hope this state of rest and state of motion, these two terms are clear to all of you. So as these two terms are clear, then we can go for the next term, which is the which is the term called force. So don't worry about the notes. I will try to give the notes, but first try to understand the logic of this chapter. Now, if you have understood the state of rest and state of motion, let's try to go a little beyond that. Suppose this is an object. Okay, suppose this is an object which is lying on the floor. Now this object right now is what? Is not moving. So I can say what? It is in a state of rest. It is in a state of rest. This object is right now not moving. Now if you want to move the body, okay, then what you have to do? If you think only, you will get the answer. You have to apply a push. You will apply a small push, P-U-S-H. By the small push, what will happen? This body, which is in the state of rest right now, will start moving, and it will right now, this body is right now is moving. This body is right now moving. So as it is moving, as the body is moving, I can say the body is right now in a state of motion. So to make the body to go from the state of rest to the state of motion, what you have to give? You have to give a small push. You have to give a small push. This push is called force. So this push that you give to a body to make the body to go from the state of rest to the state of motion, this push is actually called force. So this push can be a force, or sometimes if you are pulling the body, if say for example this is the body, okay, this is in a state of rest, and you pull the object by say a rope. This is a small rope, okay, and you pull the this is the person which is pulling the object through a help of a rope. Now as this is pulling, what happens? The body will start moving or not? This body will start moving, and when the body starts moving, that is also in a state of motion. So what the object is, this person is doing, this person is actually not pushing, but right now the body is actually pulling. Okay, pulling. So a push or a pull is required to make the body to go from the state of rest to the state of motion. This is very easy. So a push or a pull is required to make the body go from the state of rest to the state of motion. So pull and push is required to make the body go from the state of rest to the state of motion. Very important, state of rest to a state of motion. and this push and pull is termed as force. This push and pull is termed as force. Okay, so this push and pull is only termed as force. So I think you got an idea what is a force. A force is basically, in a simple words, is basically a push or a pull. Remember this thing. A force is basically a push or a pull. So I hope you understood this part, that what is a force is. A force is basically a push and a pull. Now let's see the next topic. Okay. Okay. Now, other than push and pull, okay, other than push and pull, there are, a force can cause a lot of things. Okay, a force can cause a lot of things. So basically, a force can cause what? A force can cause a body to be in motion. A force can increase the speed. A force can decrease the speed. A force can change the shape and size. A force can change the direction of the body. So there are a lot of effects of force. So we are going to discuss what are the effects of force one by one in detail with examples. Okay. So the topic is what? Effects of force. What are the effects of force? So there are actually 5 effects. We'll discuss one by one. So let's see the first effect. The first effect of force is what? A force can cause motion. A force can cause motion. And if you are still confused, what is the term motion means what? Motion means moving. Okay, motion means, in over here I can say the motion means what? Move. A force can cause motion means a force can make the body to make the body movement. Force can cause the movement in a body. Okay, the force can cause movement in a body. Let's try to understand this thing by a help of an example. Suppose you take a toy car. Okay, this is a toy car that you recently purchased from a toy shop. Okay, now if this toy car is kept on a floor, right now, what do you think? Is the toy car moving? No, the toy car is not moving. As of now, it is not moving. You want to make the toy car move. You want to make the toy car move. So right now this car is what? The toy car is not moving. Means it is stationary. Means what? It is in the state of rest. It is in the state of rest. It is not moving. You want the toy car to move. Okay? Because obviously if you buy a car, if the car is not moving, then it becomes quite illogical to buy a car. Because for us, for anybody in the world, a car is something which is moving. So right now you want to make the car move. Think what you will do. You will apply a force. So you will apply a force in this direction. You will apply a force okay. You will apply a force in this way. Okay, in this direction you will apply the force. Once you apply the force in this direction, then what will happen? You will see the object is moving. What you will see? The object is right now moving. Okay, the object is right now moving. So it is moving. And moving means what? Like it is going forward. It is going forward. And moving means what? State of motion. So the object from the state of rest goes in the state of motion, right? Now, very important thing, in which direction the object moves? The object moves in this direction, and this direction is also the direction of force. you can see this is the direction of motion. This is the direction of motion. Okay, this black arrow. And what is the direction of force? What is the direction of force? The direction of force, okay, I'm just marking with some colorful arrows that use. This is the direction of motion. So the direction of motion is in this direction, this way, and the force is also in this direction. So what do you understand? You understand that the body will move in the direction the force is applied. The body will move in the direction of force. The body will move in the direction of force. So very important. A force can cause motion. This force is causing motion. A force can cause motion. Very good. And after that, what happens? A force can cause motion. The body moves in the direction of force. If my force is in this direction, then the body will also move in this direction. If my force is in, say, this direction, then the body will also move in this direction. So the body will move in the direction of force. So the direction, I think this part is clear to you. So the first effect is what? The first effect is what? The force can cause some motion. Okay, the force can cause some motion. And the second important point over here is what? The body will move in the direction the force is applied. Okay, so force is applied, suppose towards the east, then the body will also go towards the east. If the force is applied towards the north, then the body will also go towards the north. So this way you have to understand it. So I think the first effect of force is pretty much clear to all of you. Now let's see what is the second effect of force. Now, the second effect of force is what? The second effect of force is a force can increase. A force can increase the speed of the body. A force can increase the speed of the body. This is the heading. Now, how that is possible? A force can how increase the speed of the body? Let's take an example to understand this thing. Suppose this is a car. Not a toy car, say an original car. An original car which is moving on the road, with a speed of say 60 km per hour. Okay, with a speed of 60 km per hour. Let's take a different example. Let's try to understand it by a different example. Suppose we take a cycle. Okay, suppose we take a cycle, and I don't know, like, to understand, this is a kind of a cycle only. Okay, this is a kind of a cycle. So probably a person is riding this cycle. Okay, this person is riding this cycle. Okay, now this boy which is riding the cycle, with a speed of 20 km per hour. Okay, and suppose there is a wind blowing. And the direction the wind is blowing is in this direction. So the wind is blowing, is hitting the boy from behind. So the wind is applying force to this boy from behind, and this is the wind which is blowing with a speed of say with a speed of 5 km per hour. This is the direction of the wind. Now what will happen? This wind will apply a force to this boy, and when the wind applies a force to this boy, which is already in motion, this boy is already in motion in a particular direction. So this is the direction that the boy is in motion, and the wind is also applying force in the same direction to the body which is already in motion. So this body is already in motion and the wind is applying some extra force. So what will happen? The wind will apply force in the same direction. As it applies force on the same direction, the speed of this person or the speed of this boy will increase. The speed of this boy will increase. So the resultant speed, okay, so now the boy is moving. Now the boy is moving after the boy is moving in the same cycle with a speed of how much? 20 plus 5, which is equal to 25 kilometer per hour. Okay, 25 kilometer per hour. So what happens? The wind is applying the force in the same direction. The body is in motion. So when the force is applied in the same direction in which the body, in the same direction of the body which is in motion, then the speed increases. So force can increase the speed when? A force can increase the speed of the body when the force is applied, when the force is applied in the direction of motion of the body, when the force is applied in the direction of motion of the body. So my motion of the body is in this direction and the wind is also in this direction. So the force applied in the direction of the motion of the body, then obviously what happens? The speed will definitely increase. The speed will definitely increase. So very important, when the speed increases when the force is applied in the direction of motion of the body, in the direction of the motion of the body. So because in physics you have to know the reason behind it. The force increases the speed, but why it increases speed? Because when the force increases speed, because when the force is applied in the direction of the motion of the body, what happens? The total force gets added up. The total force gets added up, like 5 plus 20, 25. Okay, so this is the second point of the effect of force. Now let's see the third point. Now let's see the third effect of force. The third effect of force. The third effect of force is what? A force can decrease the speed. A force can decrease the speed. Previously a force was increasing the speed. Now over here the force is decreasing the speed. Now how a force can decrease the speed? Let's take an example to understand this point. Okay, again I will take the cycle. The cycle is like this. Okay, the cycle is like this. This is a seat, this is the handle, and a boy is riding the cycle. Okay, this boy is riding the cycle. Now, okay, don't go to the diagram because you have to understand the logic. Now suppose the boy is going with the cycle with the speed of, say, again 20 kilometer per hour. Again the wind comes, but the wind is not coming from behind. Now the wind is coming from the front. Now the wind is coming from the front, and the direction of motion of the cycle is in this direction. Now what will happen? The wind speed is how much? 5 kilometer per hour. Now, so what happens? The wind is applying force. This wind, okay, this is the wind. The wind will apply force to this body which is in motion, but in the opposite direction. The wind, because my motion is like this and the wind is hitting the boy like this. So the wind is applying force in the direction opposite to the motion of the body. Okay, so in this scenario, the resultant speed will what happen? The resultant speed is 20, and since it's opposite direction, it will become minus 5. So it will become 15 kilometer per hour. So the boy, which is actually moving with a speed of 20 kilometer per hour, after the wind hits, then the speed of the body decreases from 20 kilometer per hour to 15 kilometer per hour. So the force can decrease the speed when the force when the force is applied when in the direction when the force is applied in the opposite direction of motion of the body, in the opposite direction of the motion of the body. So when the force is applied in the opposite direction of the motion of the body, then the speed will decrease. Okay, so example is what? When the wind is blowing in the opposite direction of the motion of the boy, then the speed of that boy will be decreased. So, but in both the situation, the previous situation and this situation, one thing is common: the body, this particular person on the cycle, is not initially in the state of rest, it is initially in motion only. So it is in motion, having some speed. Now the wind, when it comes from behind, then the speed increases, and the wind when it comes from the opposite direction, that is opposite to the motion of the body, then the speed decreases. So but in both the situation, the body is already is in motion. The body is already moving with a certain speed. The body is not in a state of rest, the body is moving. Okay, and another example of that, you can also say the goalkeeper, how the goalkeeper stops the football. The goalkeeper applies the force opposite to the motion of the football. The football is coming towards the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper applies the force in the opposite direction. Then only the speed of the ball will decrease and the ball will not go inside the nets. So the goalkeeper applies the force in the opposite direction. I think you understand what I'm trying to say. See, try to understand. This is the, I'll draw an example to make you understand. This is the goal post. Okay, this is the goal post, and here is my goalkeeper, and the ball is coming. This is the ball. Okay, this is the football which is coming in this direction. Now the goalkeeper applies the force in which direction? The goalkeeper has to apply the force in the opposite direction, in this direction, opposite direction. So then only the speed of this football will decrease and the ball will not go inside the nets. Okay, so the force can decrease the speed by applying force in the opposite direction of the motion of the body. By applying force in the opposite direction of the motion of the body. So I hope you understood this third point. Let's see the fourth point. Okay, now the fourth point. Okay, first the first three effects of force we have learned. Now what is the fourth effect of force? A force can change the direction of motion, can change the direction of motion of a body, direction of motion of a body. Okay, a force can change the direction of motion of the body. Let's understand it with the help of an example. I'll give you a real example. Okay, all of you have seen a cricketer or a batsman hitting the ball. Let's try to understand it. This is the pitch. Okay, this is the pitch of the cricket, and here is my batsman. Okay, this is my batsman which is batting. So this is the bat. Okay, this is the batting, and this is the bowler. Okay, this is the batsman, and this is the bowler which is trying to bowl. This is the bowler. Clear? Now what will happen? The bowler will bowl the bowler will throw the ball. So the ball goes in this direction. The ball goes from his hand in this direction. towards the batsman. So this is the red part is the ball. Now, once the ball goes straight to the batsman, now what is the work of the batsman? The work of the batsman is to hit the ball that the ball touches the boundary rope. So suppose this is the boundary rope. So the batsman hits the ball and the ball moves between the fielders. Suppose this is one fielder and this is another fielder. Okay, this is another fielder. Now the now what happens? The batsman will hit the ball and the ball will go in this direction. Okay, between the fielders and it will touch the rope and we have a 4 runs. Okay, we have a 4 runs. Now in this example, it is very important to understand that the batsman does what? The batsman applies force with his bat. The batsman will apply force with his bat, and that force which the batsman applies with his bat is enough to change the direction of the ball. If you see the direction of the ball, initially the direction of the ball is like this, and later on the direction of the ball is like this. So you can see the direction of the ball has changed. From this direction it came to this direction. So what does the batsman does? The batsman applies force with his bat on the ball, and after the force is applied, what happens? The force applied by the batsman changes the direction of the ball. So very important. See, this example is very easy to understand also. The batsman applies force with his bat and the force applied by the batsman changes the direction of the ball. So you can see the force is also can change the direction of the object. If the body is going in this direction and the force is applied in this direction, then the body will go like this. Easy to understand. Body goes in this direction, force is applied in this direction, then the body goes like this towards you. Okay, so it's like body going in this direction, force applied in this direction, then the body will go like this. So this fourth point, the fourth effect of force is very easy to understand. The force can change the direction of motion of the body. Now let's see the last effect of force, and which is so simple to understand. Okay, let's see the last effect of force. Okay, now let's see the last effect of force, which is very easy to understand. A force can change the shape and size of the object. So let's take an example to understand this thing. Okay, example. Suppose you have a rubber band of this size. Okay, now when you apply the force on the rubber band, suppose force on this way and the force on this way. Now what will happen? Think. It is very easy to understand. The rubber band will go from this shape to this shape. So what happens? By applying the force, you change the size of the object. You increase the size. So from this small size, the rubber band went to a bigger size. Okay, so force can change the shape of the object. Okay, so by applying the force you can change the shape of the object, and also it can change the force can change the size of the object. The force can change the size. Now force can also change the shape also. How it can change the shape? Take a very easy example. All of you, when you sleep, you use a pillow. So the initially the pillow is in this way. Okay, is in this way. But as you put your head on the pillow shape is not same. The pillow had got the pillow, there is a depression. Okay, there is a, we use the word depression, there is a depression created in the pillow. So the as you apply your head on the pillow will go into some, say, this distorted some this kind of a shape. From this shape it will go to a this shape. So even for a, like a so by this example you can understand that as you apply a force on a soft object, not a hard object, like a rigid object, if we apply a force, there is no change of shape. Okay, if you apply a bigger force on a hard object, the object might break. Okay, the object might break. But you apply a force on a soft object, you apply force applied to a soft object. Soft object means what? Take the example of pillow. Okay, so when force is applied to a soft object, then the shape of the object, changes. Then the shape of the object changes. It is very easy. So when you apply the force over here, the shape of the object will suddenly change. So I think it is very easy to understand all the 5 effects of force. I am just summarizing all the 5 effects of force. The first says what? The force can cause a motion. Second effect is what? A force can increase the speed. The third effect is what? The force can decrease the speed. Fourth effect is what? The force can change the direction of the body. And the fifth effect, the force can change the shape and size of the object. So by this you understood all the 5 effects that the force can produce. And from this 5 effect we will define force. We will now define force. Okay, so remember these 5 main effects of the force. Okay, so what is the definition of force? Let's see. So from this, the definition of force is what? A force is something which can bring, okay, which can bring the change in state of rest. As you know, if a body is in stationary, the body is not moving, you apply force and the body starts moving. So it changes. What it changes? It changes the state of rest. Or it can do what? A force is something which can which can bring the change in the state of rest or state of motion, or it can change the state of motion. Suppose this body is moving and I apply force, okay, and the body will stop, like the fielder in a cricket match. If you see the fielder, his job is to stop the ball. So the ball is moving, ball is in motion, and the fielder applies the force on the ball and it changes what? It changes the state of motion. From the state of motion, it brings the body to the state of rest. Okay, from the state of motion, it is bringing the body to a state of rest. So, and how it is bringing from the state of motion to the state of rest? By applying a force. So force is something which can change, which can bring a change in the state of motion also. From the state of motion, it can go to the state of rest, and over here it can go from the state of rest to the state of motion. Okay, or what a force can does, which can bring a change in the state of rest or state of motion, or change in shape or size. Okay, so the change, it can bring the change in the state of rest or state of motion or change in the shape and size. So this is the definition of force. Now with the definition, there is one small thing that you need to add up. Every physical quantity that you have, every physical quantity that is there with us has a particular unit. Okay, like what? Like mass is a physical quantity, and the unit of mass is what? Kilogram. Length is a physical quantity, and what is the unit of length? Meter. Time is also a physical quantity. The unit of time is what? Second. Okay, we measure the time in second, we measure the length in meter, we measure the mass in kilogram, kg, 5 kg, 6 kg, or 5 meter, 6 meter, or say 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds. Similarly, force is also a physical quantity. Just like mass, length, time, force is also a physical quantity. Okay, force is also happens to be a physical quantity. Force is also a physical quantity, and the unit of force is called Newton. Unit of force is called Newton, named after the famous scientist Isaac Newton, who discovered, or he did a lot of work on force, okay, which you will study in the higher classes. So this unit of force is what? Newton. Now, how much is 10 Newton? How much is 10 Newton? Suppose somebody asks you, how much is 10 Newton force? So take a body, suppose this marker that I am holding in my hand, okay? Suppose this marker is mass of 1 kg. So this marker, say this body is of mass, okay, this body is of mass 1 kg. Okay, this body is of mass 1 kg. This marker is in my hand is of mass, say, consider its mass 1 kg. To keep this body of mass 1 kg like this, I have to apply some force. I have to apply some force in the upward direction. So how much force I am applying in the upward direction? 10 Newton of force. So to keep a body of mass 1 kg, you have to apply a force of 10 Newton. So how much a force? How much is 10 Newton? 10 Newton is the amount of force that you require to keep a body 1 kg, to keep or to lift a body of 1 kg. To lift a body of 1 kg, how much force I require? I require a force of 10 Newton. Clear? So like that you can understand what is 10 Newton. So if I have to say this body is not of 1 kg, say this body is of 2 kg, then how much force do I require to keep it, to lift it upward? Now I require a force of say 20 Newton. So I think this is pretty much understandable that how much is 10 Newton and 20 Newton. Okay, 10 Newton means, just remember, to lift a body of 1 kg, I need 10 Newton of force. To lift a body of 2 kg, I need 20 Newton of force. Like that, 3 kg, 30 Newton of force. So I hope you understood this concept of force, the introduction of force, by this lecture number 1. And if you have some doubts, just watch that part of the video once again. Your doubts will be clarified, and if it's still not clarified, you can ask your doubts in the comment section. Okay, the comment section is open to ask any kind of doubt that you have. So saying that, I will end my video. So if you happen to like this video for any reason, please hit the like button. Okay, so saying that, I will say good night to all of you. Stay safe, stay home. Bye bye.